to this videos? If we make 5,000 likes to this video, we will upload more patriotic news. Thank you. Trump takes off kid gloves, announces new scorched earth strategy to pass agenda. People are still being forced to live with Obamacare after 7 years of talking that a change is needed. The majority of both parties need to understand that in order this country to be once big again, they need to work with President Trump. He knows how to make things better, and so far the people are very satisfied. The mistake they did should never be repeated, because the American people deserve so much better than Obamacare. This is why people will support President Trump in case he decides to declare war on the individuals who are against him. The Blaze has reported that a source close to House Speaker Paul Ryan, R.W.I.S., and former Chief of Staff Reince Priebus says President Donald Trump is planning to shift his political strategy and could engage in warfare against Republican Congress. Excellent news. Here is the tweet: "This is going to be amazing." Harwood also added that he believes this shift, if true, could be a bad sign for Republicans hoping to pass significant tax reform. From the moment they decided not to repeal Obamacare, the president publicly shared his frustration. He said it was sad Republicans do very little to protect him. He also reminded the Republicans that talk is cheap. They talked about repealing Obamacare but failed to act. People are forced to live with this, and this is why the president is so frustrated. He cares about his citizens and is not interested in seeing them hurt. This is why he needs to punish every single person who stabbed his back and who stabbed every American citizen's back. Whatever he decides, we the people are with him. Crying Chuck Schumer is weeping like baby over Trump's latest viral tweet. Obamacare made a mess out of this nation like never before. The president is getting publicly shamed for his opinion. The liberals hate on Trump so much that they berate every single American by siding together not to repeal Obamacare. For 7 years the American people were the ones who suffered and even died thanks to Obamacare. The senators are ignoring this fact, and Senate Minority Leader Charles Schumer, DN.Y, on Saturday said that President Trump should start acting presidential, ignoring the fact that he is acting this way since taking office. He took to Twitter to share his opinion, reports The Hill. This comes after President Trump publicly said that he is going to end the payments, known as cost sharing reduction, CSR, payments due to the fail of Senate GOP efforts this week to repeal and replace Obamacare. Trump said after 7 years of talking repeal and replace, the people of our great country are still being forced to live with imploding Obamacare. By adding, if a new healthcare bill is not approved quickly, bailouts for insurance companies and bailouts for members of Congress will end very soon. Trump for so long talked about these cuts due to the ignorant senators who are doing anything possible to keep Obamacare. If the president decides to do it, it will reduce the price Americans pay for deductibles, co-payments, and insurance. This is so sad because Trump is the only person in here who is not trying to hurt the people out of spite. Anything he said or did was for better future of his citizens. He forced the issue to be repealed in order to blow out Obamacare and fix it by something better for everyone. Rand Paul gets even with McCain's treachery on healthcare vote, and John's furious. Palace intrigue continues in the GOP-controlled Congress. By now we have all seen the dramatic moment when John McCain walked to the Senate floor and gave a massive thumbs down and ended the Obamacare repeal and replace once and for all. Which is a good thing, because the GOP couldn't get their stuff together and propose something at odds with Trump's own campaign pledges. Advertisement: if they had delivered a bill that Trump campaigned on, they would have even got Democrat votes. But Paul Ryan went all Ayn Rand and went too far, so Trump had to try repair the damage by calling it mean to senators. Ryan screwed Trump worse than John McCain did for sure. But Rand Paul is still pissed. John McCain came back to get the health care bill on the floor, for sure, and he then crushed it by voting the skinny repeal down, but he really wanted to get a vote on the National Defense Authorization Act, his signature piece of legislation. After he voted no on health care, he had the stones to say, okay, now that that is done, let's move on to National Defense Authorization Act. A furious Rand Paul blocked the vote and sent John home to Arizona empty-handed, if not empty of words. For 55 years in a row, Congress has passed the National Defense Authorization Act, which provides our men and women in uniform with the resources, capabilities, and pay and benefits that they need to perform their missions on behalf of the American people and keep our country safe, McCain, chairman of the Senate Committee on Armed Services, said, before adding, "This legislation is more vital than ever." But John was just starting to get worked up and said, "The highest responsibility of every member of Congress is to do what they think is right for the nation. It is unfortunate that one senator chose to block consideration of a bill our nation needs right now, the National Defense Authorization Act. We must uphold our solemn obligation to provide for the common defense and give our men and women in uniform the training, equipment, and resources they need to defend the nation. Our brave service members, many now serving in harm's way, deserve nothing less." Advertisement: share this if you think the GOP better call a fireman cause their house is on. Mike Pence accurately predicts how Trump will get back at GOP for Obamacare debacle. The Obamacare debacle sent shockwaves through Washington, D.C. Chuck Schumer's celebrating and the GOP is having a pity party. Not the way it is meant to go under total GOP control of government. Advertisement. But the swamp works in mysterious ways and the muck at the bottom has caught many a man in its clutches, dragging them down to the bottom of American politics. In an interview with Tucker Carlson of Fox News, Vice President Mike Pence accurately predicted what Trump will do to the hapless GOP. Pence said, "That's pretty typical of Washington, isn't it? You, more often than not, see one set of rules for the American people and another set of rules for the political class here in our nation's capital. But as we move forward, the point is that whether the president makes a decision, it would be his decision whether to rescind that special treatment for members of Congress and their staffs." Did Pence just say what I thought he said? It's about time. Mike Pence is not playing games and it appears neither is President Trump. This is a good idea on so many levels. Look, Congress, as federal employees should have to live with the same consequences as stupid laws they pass as the rest of us. What we want is a healthcare system that works for all of the American people. I think the primary goal first is to give people freedom over their own healthcare choices again. Fair is fair, and Pence went to say, the very essence of living in a free society is people get to make their own decisions. But the president and I truly believe that if you lower the cost of health insurance, if you give Americans more choices in health insurance, that more Americans will choose, more employers will choose, to have and offer health insurance to their employees and have health insurance for their families. And if you make Congress live with their decision, we will without a doubt get better laws coming from the swamp. Advertisement: share this if you agree with Mike Pence. General Mattis issues new orders to military, liberals' jaws hit floor with loud thud. When President Trump appointed General Mattis to Secretary of Defense, he knew the man changed the way things work in America in regards to protecting this nation. The former Marine only has one concern in his life. He wants to make the U.S. military the biggest, most lethal group in the world. It's a good time to ruin the world's bad guys, and General Mattis is the person to do it. Advertisement: that means eliminating everything that is wasteful. The sensitivity training needs to go because it doesn't make the military stronger. Secretary of Defense James Mattis has ordered a full review of any military training not directly relevant to warfighting. Mattis will make sure there is a review of everything that was put into effect, especially under Leon Panetta and the Obama administration. It will likely all be gutted. I want to verify that our military policies also support and enhance warfighting readiness and force lethality, Mattis said. Mattis also asked for a review into what should be done about permanently non-deployable service members. For years the politicians have ruined the U.S. military. They wanted to make the military a social experiment. It's been horrible that they think it's appropriate to push political correctness and social policies that ruin the military ever seen on this planet. Our soldiers, airmen, Marines, And sailors don't need to be bothered with sensitivity training. They need to know how to take orders, operate their weapons, and win battles. They don't have time to entertain the stupid notions invented by liberals who never served their country. The U.S. military is not a democracy. Nor is it a place for political nonsense. It is the single force that preserves our country and our freedoms. Advertisement: the American military will be prosperous again. It's too bad this didn't happen.